Shalom, Koholo Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Raha HaKadash, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, peace and salutations to the hopeful elect scattered throughout the four corners of the globe. My name is Barad Debal, coming to you from the GMS campus in Indianapolis. And to all those listening and learning to you, I say Shalom, especially to you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians that make up the 12 tribes of Israel. Just going to go a few things that's been going on, of course, in the news and close to home. Here, as you can see, says Venezuelans in Chicago. I'm not going to start this video. I'm actually going to start with a different video and go through some scriptures. Hopefully, that it's edifying to the elect body. So let's just get right into it. We'll start with this video here.
$1,000 in food stamp and $5,000 cash money monthly.
Every month they're getting that.
Yes, and they're getting 6 months free rent. But this was the first time I heard about it. Now that I've heard is 2 years free rent, getting Section 8 first prioritized before the citizens.
Wow. So the Venezuelan migrants that are coming in here, they are getting 6 months free rent,
$1,000 in
$15,000
food
in
stamp
food stamps, and on a credit card, $5,000
cash.
cash. Oh,
And she said that they are receiving this before the citizens, those who are actually living in the city. Okay, of course, as people may be aware or unaware, um, that there has been an influx of immigrants that have come into the country. Of course, Venezuela has been the targeted point, as far as what has happened in Aurora, Colorado, where there's been said that it's been Venezuelans who taken over the apartment complex, and then of course now they're talking about the influx of those in Chicago. Now, of course, the Venezuelans, those are also of our people, and many of them are of our people. Of course, you may have other nations scattered within them, but you know, um, the point of it is that Esau, Edom, always tends to push a narrative in many cases to where it causes a discord, a division amongst the people. And a lot of times it takes the finger off of who's actually doing these things. That $15,000 coming to them is not the fault of the people. The 6 months free rent, which I think she's going to say a year's rent, is not the fault of the people who's coming in. If I come into a country and the government of that country or the of that city says, "Hey, we're going to give you these particular subsidies," your first mind could think, in some cases, that, "Hey, we're doing this. You do this to all your people." But in many cases, you might also think, "Oh, well, thank you." You're not thinking that. Um, this is possibly causing division when you're talking amongst other people, or you go and you scan your card and they see that you've received $15,000 in food stamps, okay? And so, and $5,000 a month, Section 8 housing, okay? When those in this very community aren't receiving those things and people are living on the streets. So you can see how this can cause strife against amongst the people. Go further.
my goodness. How do the people in Chicago feel about that?
Oh, people are angry
See, people are angry, and she's gonna explain.
because there's a lot of people, that need help with Medicaid and food stamps, and they get rejected.
Tell me about the people that you've seen on the streets collecting clothes
By my house, there's a Walgreens. There's a lot of families that go stand by the door with a pamphlet saying they need money and food, and they're Venezuelans getting money, and then they go in the bus and don't pay. Go in the trains, don't pay, and they're not getting in trouble for non.
And they're not receiving retribution. They're not getting in trouble for anything that they're doing as well. So you can see how this can cause anger within the people. You got this new group of people who come in, um, and they're reaping benefits which are coming from the Esau Edom and his system. All right, so we can't forget who's actually providing these subsidies to one and not to another. Okay.
Wrong things they're doing.
They can commit a crime or steal or something and nothing happens to them.
Nothing happens. They get away with everything. By my house, a car passed by. It said Venezuela in the back windshield. No, in the front windshield said Venezuela, and on the side of the windows it said Chandel Roswell. And they drove by my house. No,
So we'll stop there, and we're gonna go to a few scriptures, and then I'll pull up this other video that I had there. Okay, so this is the what happened in Aurora, Colorado. Okay, it says Aurora police react to alleged Venezuelan gang presence at an apartment. Have not taken over. Okay, so Aurora shares an update after video surfaces allegedly showing heavy armed Venezuelan migrants, gang members trying to break into an apartment in Colorado. So again, this is just saying that there's been all type of news that's been going on saying that they've actually taken over a whole apartment complex now, allegedly. But the thing is, you would expect for government, police, to actually go in and quell, this thing that's going on. But you're not hearing that much going on about it. And of course, as to what stands are being taken, but we'll leave it there. And what's happening is that the people of the community are going to start to feel as though they need to fight back, and because the mass media is putting out, saying Venezuelans is Venezuelans, then you start to think people are starting to then think, um, and put all their anger and energy toward these people. Okay, which not to say that there hasn't been any, because it has been said that gangs and violence has erupted amongst those. But then there are also things that are saying, they put out in the media that they're letting out all of their prisoners and sending them over this way. But then we got to remember who's allowing them to get in, who's allowing them to come in to um, the Americas. Okay, whereas before they had a big thing about borders and closing and building walls and things like that, not letting people in. Now there's been a high influx of people that has come in, but yet, this has just been really one targeted people. I'm sure that there's been other groups that's come in and has done certain things as well, or receiving even more benefits, but they're putting their target on this one. So let's go further. This is the book of um, Proverbs, chapter. We're going to get that in Proverbs chapter 6, KJV, verses 16 through 19. And these are the attributes of Esau Edom, the so-called white man who rules the world. It says, these six things doeth the Lord hate. Okay? Because again, Esau Edom is totally um, contrary to the ways of the Heavenly Father. And so they're going to do the things that the Lord hates. Says seven are an abomination, and they're completely wicked, filthy, um, as far as these people. It says a proud look, a lying tongue, and hands that shed innocent blood. So when you look at their background and you see the things from something as simple as taking, history of taking over America, colonizing um, the people here, and pushing out the natives, um, and setting up many treaties. But it says, we're getting to the point. It says, a heart that devises wicked imaginations. So they set up deceitful plans. Okay, so there's something that's brewing that's going to come out of this, and we're going to see that there's going to be some infighting and things. But there's a thing they call order ab chaos. So this order out of chaos, and that's a thing that in which they push forth. So when things get very chaotic, then they become in and become the savior of the day. and start to set plans and different things to bring order. When the people start to scream for help, you know, usually, they're crying out to Esau Edom, and then he comes in with his devices. Well, what we should truly be doing as a people, especially so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, is crying out to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, because we understand through the scriptures, especially in the book of Judges as an example, how when we were into many captivities and different things that were placed upon us, we started to call out to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, and he would come and redeem. He was seeing sends those to redeem judges, to bring us out of our captivities. So just a thought in mind. It says a heart that devises wicked imaginations. So we have to sit back and see what's the main thing that is brewing out of this conflict. Okay, it says feet that be swift to running into mischief. All right, a false witness that speaketh lies, and he that soweth discord among brethren. So one that soweth discord among brethren. Let's look up this word discord. Discord, a lack of agreement or harmony as between persons, things, or ideas. Okay, active quarreling, conflict resulting from discord among persons. So when you're giving one person more, especially when they come into the land and they're receiving all these subsidies, and then those who live within the land, who's been working within the land, who has been asking and begging for these things. Of course, it tells us in Deuteronomy 28 that we would go to him for the one of all things. And so he has the control to give some more than others, or some none at all. And then you see where the conflict lies, okay? As if it's maybe perpetrated purposely, okay? This is um okay. It says so if discord among brethren, okay. So we got discord is that harmony, right? So I want to get this in the GNT. It says there be seven things that the Lord hates and cannot tolerate. He says a proud look, a lying tongue, hands that kill innocent people, a mind that thinks up wicked plans, feet that hurry off to do evil, okay? A witness who tells one lie after another. So again, when it's all pushed so heavily within the media, sometimes we have to sit back and think, you have to really decipher what's really true when it comes to um, Esau Edom. All right. And it says, and someone who stirs up trouble among friends. Okay. So, of course, you know, um, these so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we should be one that are more in unity with each other, of course, under Yahweh Bashim al Shai and keeping his laws. But because Esau is able to um, make these plans and set up certain things amongst the brotherhood and change the names, of the people and have people believing that they're not as closely related as as they are. They're able to stir up, trouble amongst friends. And so let's look up this word. Actually, let me get this here. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 15, verse 18. It says, a wrathful man stirreth up strife. Okay. But he that is slow to anger appeaseth strife. So a wrathful man, let's look up wrathful real quick. Wrathful. Okay. Wrathful. Okay, it says irate, full of wrath. Okay, it says raising from marked by indicating. Okay, so it's gotten wrath. Okay, we need to exit. There we go. It says strong, vengeful anger. Okay, indignation. Okay, retribution, punishment for an offense or crime, divine chastisement. So, of course, Esau Edom tries to set himself up as the Most High, because the Most High, he has wrath, but it's righteous. It's righteous anger because of all the iniquity and abominations that are going on before him. But But we know Esau is a wrathful man, and so he stirs up strife. Let's look up this word strife. All right, strife. It says a bitter, sometimes violent conflict or dissension. All right, so bitter, fighting the struggle, because now you see that there's a discord, anger between the people within the community, and as you actually notice, it's going to be mainly the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians who have been living in Chicago, who have been living in Colorado and many other parts of the world. I mean, of America, and then you start to see that there's going to be this conflict between the two, and it's being brewed up and stirred up by a wrathful man. Um, and of course, let's go into the book of oh, let's get the video and then we'll finish it. We'll finish it here. All Venezuelans. This video is again, man, Venezuelans in Chicago, and this is his statement. In Chicago, this is, and actually you can see arrows of indignation is where I got this from. So of course, subscribe and be edified. The warning: if you ain't on no bullshit, stay neutral. Somebody please translate. Stay neutral. If you know somebody that's in your building on bullshit, don't let them run in that building, and don't let nobody see them run in that building. Because once word get out that that's the building that they in, they gonna chop that bitch down. Whatever building, the abandoned building y'all occupying and all that shit, yeah, you better get your food and just stay in the house. Because they come out doing some bullshit, y'all gonna regret that. You're gonna really regret that. So, I don't speak Spanish, so somebody need to translate. I hope they got TikTok that translate, I guess. They can kind of make me seem like I'm speaking Spanish. But anyway, take this like a grain of salt if you like. But this ain't Colorado. This ain't Utah. This ain't none of them places. This is just like where you from. The only difference is y'all use a lot of handgun, old revolvers, and machetes and shit. We got switches. We got switches. If you're not familiar with what a switch is, we will show you. We don't really be with all the telling and shit. But we will definitely show you what a switch is. So, again, somebody translate. Yeah. Make this known. This ain't like Colorado. I'm just saying. So there is sedition, that is being stirred up. Let's look up this word. Let's get this word sedition, and then we'll get one more scripture and we'll end here. Okay. Sedition, which is incitement or resistance to or insurrection against law authorities. So it's going to build up to a point of sedition where because authorities aren't stepping in to the point that the people within the community is or their environment is expecting, then people will start to take the law in their own hands, okay, and going against the ways or the push of authority, okay. And the Lord speaks about how there will be sedition among men, and eventually, you're going to have martial law. You're going to have major infighting, which will bring, could possibly bring in the martial law, but there's many other ways that that could come about. But we know initially at some point that that is going to happen. Let's end with this. It's the book of Second Esdras, chapter 13, verse 31. He says, and one shall and one shall undertake to fight against another, okay, one city against another. So it's just going to be, could be neighborhoods or within the neighbors to neighborhoods to city against another, one place against another, of course, one people against another. Okay, because again, this is going to stir up and go all the way up until it becomes a bigger thing where we know that there's going to be this third world's war. And it says, and one realm against another. And once that world's war um, pop off, then we also know that Yahweh Shai is going to return, and it's going to be the realm of Yahweh, the holy angels, the Lord of hosts, the Lord and his army, fighting against Esau, Edom, and his army. So I hope that this lesson was edifying, uplifting, exhorting of some sort into the body. Before I end, I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rahahakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect scattered throughout the four corners of the globe. And to all those listening and learning, to you, next time I say, Shalom.